Joining me is a young lady who combines her passion for harness racing, her love of horses and a high degree of dedication to her chosen profession. I'm delighted to be able to catch up with Katie McGill following the running of Don't Need Bling at Club Menangle today. Well, Katie, it's good to finally catch up with you. We've been trying to get this interview up and running for a few weeks. Before we get into your career and also your work, the introduction to harness racing came via your dad, David McGill, and also your mum, Jill Cuba. But as far as your dad's concerned, he wasn't really involved in harness racing.
No, he just got involved. I think he was in his 20s. He started going out with his mates. I think they'd go to Richmond Dogs and they'd go to the gallops on weekends and end up at the trots. And somewhere along the line, he stumbled across John Ponsonby and started going out there on weekends while he was doing his apprenticeship. And yeah, it just all blossomed from there and never looked back.
Your mum, on the other hand, totally different story, a very deep history of harness racing on her side of the family.
Yeah, she's about third generation. Her uncle, Wally Wood, won the first inner city pace, and I'm pretty sure his father was involved a bit too. Mum's still got a form of Wally's colours. I think one of his sons has the identical set, and then the other son's got a similar set, and Mum's got another similar set as well. So.
Throughout the 80s, I knew your father well, and also your mum. They used to have horses on a regular basis come to Harold Park, and always beautifully presented, Katie, but they also had a very unique look, the horses from the McGill stable, the colours yellow and red intertwined with ribbons.
Yeah, Mum had ribbons in her hair and the horses had ribbons, and they always had patterns on their bums, and whether it was a big race at Harold Park or a maiden at Penrith, they always had the same get-up.
Katie, were you always going to follow Dad into harness racing because you didn't get involved with the mini trials, but it was the horse attracted you?
Yeah, I've always loved the horses. Wasn't really interested in the mini trots. I had my own mini trotter, but I just worked her at home and mucked around with her there. Yeah, early on I wanted to do the training and stuff, and Dad tried to steer me away from it and said, oh, it's not a very financially well-off career. So I was looking at doing vet at some stage, but I always knew I wanted to be involved one way or another. But yeah, I was driving for a while and then just now focusing on the training and breeding, and I just love having them.
Of course, Dad wasn't always deeply involved in harness racing. He had his full-time job to fall back on.
Yeah, when he started off, he was just doing his carpentry through the day, and then he'd ring Mum when he was leaving work, and she'd meet him at the track with the horses that they had in work at the time. And then eventually he built up his numbers and was doing the horses full-time, and now he's cut back again. So
your first winner as a driver you'll never forget, because it was trained by Dad, the Sleepy Lion at Penrith, as a 17-year-old back in 2015.
Yeah, it seems a while ago now. Yeah, he was a nice little horse. He could do a few things wrong, but once we sorted him out, he had a bit of a run there, and he was picking up a few checks and a few wins, and yeah.
You certainly had a favourite as far as the horses were concerned with Verana Court.
Yeah, he's a special horse. He always will be.
And why?
We just clicked. We could read each other's minds, I think, when it came to the racing, especially at Penrith. He always had to be on the pegs because of how he hit his knee so bad, but we just could tell where we wanted to go, and then he got very sick. He got colic one night at the races, and we had to scratch him and rush him to Agnes Banks, and we didn't think he was going to make it. And then even one of his retirements, he bled at Penrith one night and nearly brought down the whole field, but he managed to stay on his feet, and we made it to the inside of the track, and luckily, he could have brought the whole field down, but I don't know, he just kept me safe.
You also had a couple of other favourites. Good horses for you learning, Can't Escape and Classic Croupier.
Yeah, Can't Escape. He, legend of a horse. He just did everything right. He used to teach the babies. Mum used to drive him, and Dad would drive the young ones, and Dad would teach the young ones to pull out, and Mum would ease him up, and he'd just pull up, and if the young ones crashed into him or something, he didn't care. I've still not long moved him on. I've had him his whole life. He's 19 now, but someone was looking for a reliable cart horse, so he's doing wine tours in the Hunter Valley, and he loves it.
As a trainer, you had a Group 1 runner in the Bathurst Gold Tiara back in 2019.
Yeah, that was definitely a thrill. It was a very long week between the heat and the final. A lot of nerves, and I think I might have camped out there a couple of nights. yeah, she was a very special little filly.
Yeah, you did show a lot of potential as a junior driver. In fact, the Metro Junior Drivers Encouragement Award back in 2016, 2017. A field of 5, Brooke Wilkins, Ellen Rickson, Will Rickson, Steph Lippiard, Katie McGill. Now, that's a pretty hot field.
Yeah, I guess.
So what was the reason why you decided to back away from driving?
I just wasn't enjoying it as much anymore. A few of my favourites to drive sort of retired and moved on, and I don't know, I just wasn't enjoying it as much, and work got a bit more demanding, so I just retired when some of my horses did.
A nice little team with your dad, BOK, which you've enjoying a good bit of a success with. Don't Need Bling, also very consistent prior to today, but certainly will be bouncing back from that particular performance.
Yeah, he's going all right. He's still trying to find his feet. He's like a big baby still. He's still learning everything. But yeah, BOK, she's a nice little filly. We're having a bit of fun with her. She's keeps us on our toes, but yeah, she's consistent racing-wise. And the other one we got coming back, Catastrophe, yeah, she's a nice little filly.
Now, the horse's name, Don't Need Bling. Come November, you will be needing bling, courtesy of your fiancé, Nathan Sherrup. So congratulations on that score, but there will be bling involved.
Yes, not cheap. Hopefully the horses will start contributing a little bit, but yeah, we'll be looking forward to that.
Now, Katie, back in 2018, you joined Hawkesbury Equine Veterinary Centre, a graduate of Bachelor of Equine Science. What's that involved? Because you're very passionate.
Yeah, I love my job. Some days I come home saying otherwise, but I do love my job. Yeah, I'm just head nurse there, so just in charge of all the ordering and rostering and stuff when it comes to the nursing side of things. But yeah, we get a lot of colic surgeries, orthopaedic surgeries, just day-to-day stuff, and foals and breeding, and love it.
Past few weeks you've been trying to get to a club in Anglesey. Don't need bling go around, but your job has certainly taken over as far as your commitments.
Oh yeah, it always comes first.
Well, Katie, you've certainly got a lot to get through there as far as your love of the harness horse and also horses in general. Good luck with the job. More importantly, good luck in November.
Thank you.